Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Today I'm doing a video where I'm going to list out my top 10 favorite or most impressive or whatever you want to use collections on YouTube. And I think it bears some explaining because sometimes people see videos like this and they there can be some potential controversy sparked by it, and that is certainly not the intent. But the intent is to tell you, hey, these are 10 collections that I watch on YouTube that I am most impressed with, that are my favorite, that are whatever, however you want to describe it. Maybe that just collect like me or collect like I want to collect, right? And it's meant to draw attention to these channels. If you're not watching them and you like what I do, or you collect like I collect, or you see value in those, go watch them and see how they collect, and maybe you'll be just as impressed as I am. It's meant to bring attention to them and not to leave out other people, because the reality and the real truth of it is just about every person that I follow on YouTube or watch on YouTube has something about their collection that's impressive. They have something that is cool, and it may only be that their collection isn't huge or whatever, but that doesn't mean they don't love it, they don't respect it. I love hearing stories and stuff like that. But my criteria, well, you'll know when you hear these channels kind of how I look at it. But I had some that I wanted to at least mention that are kind of just off the top 10 for me. Let's see, we'll start with George Diamond Yard sports cards, amazing collection, autographs, graded cards, like that's really jams for me a lot. Bill, the Hall of Fame collector, his collection is absolutely stunning, amazing Hall of Fame autographs, 5 stars, like, yeah, pushes a lot of buttons. New York Yankees fan 7, Vince. The thing that impresses me about his collection is just the quality of the cards. You know, he goes for higher grade stuff a lot of times, and it's just impressive. Don's Field of Dream cards. He is probably my brother. There's several people on here that collect a lot like me. Don's Field of Dreams cards is just amazing. Then there's Chris, Hall of Fame pullers, who, from a Hall of Fame autograph collection, he does so many different player runs and just insane. I will put, by the way, all of these channels links down below so that if you're not familiar with any of them, you can go check them out. Silver Jackify, Joe, just unbelievable stuff. Modern, vintage, kind of everything. I love that. And then there's TJ Maxx vintage cards, Terry. His collection is just so broad. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, like you name it, he's got it. He's got really high grades too, which I'm impressed by. But just these are all the ones that are just kind of, oh. And again, I could name 300 guys that and say something about their collection that I like, and it really attracts me to watching their channel. But here's another thing too that's kind of interesting. There are so many people not on YouTube, right? There's so many collections that I've seen off of YouTube that are insanely impressive that would make this list, but they don't make videos. So the YouTube community is so tiny compared to the hobby. I bet we are the YouTube community. I bet YouTube itself is maybe 5% of the entire hobby. So many people don't watch YouTube. So many people don't watch our channels. And that's okay. I love what we have. In fact, it might be overwhelming if it was significantly bigger, but there's a lot of great collections out there. And I tell people all the time, there's always somebody with a bigger boat. So the minute you think your collection is the bomb, then you watch somebody else, you're like, oh man, that's so cool what they have and how they have it and how they collect. So here are my top 10. And these are literally in no particular order. I don't necessarily rank them, although some people out there would probably like me to rank them, but they're definitely in the way that I thought of them, so that there are some that, yep, right? And then I had to think some more and go through some things and think through them. But they are really not in any order. But number, I guess 10. I'm just going to name them. There's 10 of them. Again, links will be below. Chris from Missouri. Chris, relatively new to YouTube, but the more and more I see of how he collects and what he collects, it hits me. I mean, top 300 cards or 300 great cards by Mike Payne, Hall of Fame post-war rookie stuff. So, and he's got all of those. You know, there's just so many things about Chris that impress me about his collection, that I like about his collection. That's what it's probably just my favorite. These are just my favorite collections, you know. Enough said cards, Andrew. What's impressive about Andrew's collection is his insane pre-war stuff. And he does modern too with his boys and whatnot, but his pre-war is unbelievable. And it's not just the cards, it's his knowledge that I enjoy. I enjoy learning from watching him. I enjoy seeing sets I've never seen before, seeing cards I've never seen before. And you get that with Andrew's channel. Next up, Eric, those back pages. Probably, I know Eric incredibly well. I've seen things in his collection no one else has seen. And it's sneaky impressive, sneaky crazy good. It is so good. He's got just the spectrum of things, modern, vintage, just big boy cards left and right. And he's been doing it for so long, and he has had such a head start on so many collectors that he just has cards that all of us just drool over and wish we could have, because he got in early. He was smart and got in early and just has been buying this stuff for so long. The next one might be the first one that a lot of you guys kind of tilt your head and may not know about, but it's a channel called The Collector. And he doesn't just do sports cards, although that's primarily what you'll see in his videos. And he hasn't done a video in over a year, I guess. But this guy's stuff is so absolutely insane. All I'm going to say is, if you've never watched his videos, click on the link after this. Go just start at his oldest and look for stuff that you might go, yeah, that looks cool based on the thumbnail, and just watch a few. It's pretty nuts just to see what he has. Ruths, mantles, I mean, huge cards. Nap Lajoie 33 Gaudy. He has like 3 of them. I mean, just, it's impressive. It's very cool. Next is Rick, vintage oddball cards. And now we're getting kind of towards, well, that's the 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he's the 5th one. Vintage oddball cards. Rick is, again, knowledge in spades, that he talks about stuff, shows stuff, photograph, you know, type 1 photos, pre-war, guys like Christy Mathewson and Willie Mays, you know, the fact that he's a Giants fan and a 49ers fan, you know, those are all forgivable sins. And he's just such a great guy too. And I loved watching him just talk about his collection, and I love it, right? So if I enjoy that, that's awesome. Next is Frank, Baseball Hall of Fame autographs. And I think Bill and I'm trying to think of other Chris Hall of Fame pullers, Jake, we would all agree that, at least on YouTube, the king of Hall of Fame autographs is Frank. And if you like Hall of Fame autographs and seeing autographs of players you've never seen before, he does a great job analyzing autographs and giving you his thoughts on when you're looking for an autograph of a certain player, what you should be looking for. Very educational and just awe-striking. Awe-striking? I don't know if that's a word, but I'm in awe when I see him show something that's just absolutely insane. So Frank is absolutely on my list. Next up is Orlando, a collector's dream. And Orlando's one of those sneaky dudes too, because you just see him show some things and you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then it's a cumulative effect, right? Because you can't learn about someone's entire collection instantly unless you go there and kind of look at everything. But on YouTube, it just kind of happens over time. They add something that they own into the annals of their collection, show off on YouTube. I just keep getting impressed by Orlando and what he has and what he knows and how long he's been doing it and all of that. Orlando's awesome. Next up, Josh, rated rookie. Rated rookie. I can't do it as good as he can do it. But Josh's collection is also sneaky good. And there's a few of these guys. I'm trying to think. Josh is the only one where I've seen his collection in person. And the stuff he shows on YouTube is top 50 videos every year of the top 50 cards in his collection. That's the surface. Here's the top 50, and then there's everything else, all of which is insanely impressive. I love the way Josh collects. I love the way he thinks about cards. It's, again, very similar to the way I do. And it's so good. It's so good. His Dodgers, his players that he collects, Piazza, and but he loves Ohtani and Acuna and Sandy Koufax, and his vintage stuff is off the chain. Awesome. And then there's the final two, and it's hard to put. I would definitely put these one, like if I had to rank them, these two would be the top two. And it's difficult to figure out, okay, which one do I think is better? And it's John Mangini and Blue Jacket 66, Dave. So you've got John and Dave, both of which are lifelong collectors, have been doing it forever, which again, if you hear the key to that is, the key to building a great collection is having a lot of time to do it. It helps to have a lot of money, but even if you won the lottery tomorrow and had millions of dollars at your disposal, it would still take a lot of time to accumulate collections similar to John and to Dave, because it just takes time. You have to be patient. You have to find the right cards. And I love how John is a type guy. He loves getting cards from all kinds of different sets. That's just impressive from a breadth standpoint. He also does he's a multi-sport guy, which is, again, something that I admire because I don't do that a ton. And he just loves everything about cards, and he exudes that love of the hobby, loves mainly of the cards, and he loves the community too, but just how much he loves this stuff permeates every video and every time I talk to him or have a communication with him. And so John's impressive. And then there's Dave, who insanely knowledgeable. He's been doing this since dinosaurs roamed the earth, and through his dad, he's a multi-generational collector, and that knowledge that's been passed generation to generation is so valuable to the rest of us that watch and consume his content. And his collection is just bananas. It's absolutely bananas. Between Cobbs and Mathewson and Mantle and Mays and you name it, he's got it in really high grades. Again, not that cards have to be in high grade to be impressive, but they're still impressive. It is part of the wow factor on cards is, whoa, not only do you have that card, you have it at 7 or an 8 or something like that. And that just is jaw dropping for guys like me to watch that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my 10 plus some, honorable mention guys. If this is something that you find interesting, do your own video. We've all got our own opinions on what we enjoy, what collections we admire, what collections we strive to, be like and want to emulate. Those are all unique personal perspectives. I would love to see what you think, because that would be maybe some channels that I could learn about, just like we do the YouTube Hall of Fame and some other things to bring light to other channels. I just love hearing what people have opinions about. I recognize and respect those opinions and want to hear what you think as well. So that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. We'll talk to you later. Keep collecting.